How's it going, guys? Welcome back to more Katawa Shoujo. In the previous part, it was we just ended the scene of the homecoming party, I think, and now we're at the nurse's office. I'm kind of curious on what it's trying to say. I'm not really sure what Hisao is doing at the nurse's office, so why don't we just load it up and see what happens? Correct procedure. Oh, don't tell me he's gonna make a sex joke. Oh god, no. Well, now, if it isn't Nakai, good to see you. Or bad, I guess, considering that I'm a nurse. He gives a small laugh, amused at his little joke. I find his humor lacking and somewhat off. But the fact that he can make light of such a situation is perhaps comforting, or at least distracting. His brief episode of entertainment over, he claps his hands together and gets down to business. I take a seat as he gestures for me to do so. I wish the classrooms had seats this comfortable. I can feel my mind wandering as my eyes quickly scan the room, distracted by all the small changes since I last came. Alrighty, so what brings you here? I haven't seen you often, so I assume your health's been good so far. Well, mostly. I see. His smile drops as I trail off. I feel slightly guilty about it. It's these moments where I can't rationally call myself normal that make me so reluctant to see the nurse. They're an admission that I'm different from everyone else. While I was on a trip during the long weekend, I had a few problems with my heart. He hums very seriously and nods as he does so, urging me to go on. I think it was as I was walking a fairly long distance. I think the right term for it was a heart flutter. I suddenly went weak at the knees and felt almost like I was having a small heart attack, but it passed in about half a minute. Even afterward, though, I felt pretty fatigued and nauseous. Not good. Not good at all. That was how many days ago exactly? Did you do anything unusual aside from exerting yourself before the episode? Were you taking your medication properly? The nurse switches from awkward jokester to a serious health professional mode, rattling off questions, making notes, and calling up stuff on his computer. I tell him about forgetting to take my pills that morning and the preceding evening. It was a stupid thing to do, but I can't change anything about it now, except answer honestly and bite the bullet. Or get shot. His seriousness evolves into a frown, and the talk evolves into an instant checkup. Oh. Crap. I finished buttoning up my shirt and began motion to take a seat in front of the nurse. Is this the first heart problem you've had since coming to Yamaku? I've had short pains in my chest before, just a couple of times, but they were more discomfort than anything else like this. He leans back in his chair, briefly resembling a white-coated Poirot as he mulls over the mysterious case of the heart flutter. Moving his lips from side to side to show he's thinking, his non-existent mustache wiggling, he eventually comes to a conclusion. Well, you survived it. That's always on the plus side. I blinked at this one, then noticed the nurse wearing his got you face. It's actually somewhat reassuring. I don't think he would crack jokes if things were really serious, so I keep silent and take my lumps. I'll have to talk with your doctor, but right now I suspect it's simply due to physical exertion. Have you been keeping up with regular light exercises like I directed you to? I make sure to walk a reasonable amount every day. It's usually enough to work up a bit of a sweat, and then again, I'm not really as fit as I used to be. That should be enough then. The main thing to keep in mind is to do regular low-stress exercise, not short bursts of sprinting and such. Yeah, Emmy, I wonder why. I understand. Since leaving the hospital, I've been a lot more focused on my studies, probably to take my mind off not being able to do more physical things. It's good to hear you're coping well. Sudden lifestyle changes can be hard at the best of times, so I'm pleased to hear that you sound like you have everything in order. Almost everything that is. Nevertheless, I want to keep a close eye on you for a while, just for observation's sake. Just to make sure things aren't going downhill, you understand? That's something I really didn't want to hear since coming to Yamaku. All I've wanted to do is live as normal a life as possible. Observation was one of the words I came to hate most during the hospital stay. For so long, I felt as if I could have just walked straight out of the hospital doors, if not for that observation the doctors wanted so dearly. Well then, tell them to damn themselves and be like, fuck you, and then walk out. Sure, should I come in more often? He checks the calendar next to his computer, which seems to inflict on him a nasty case of furrowed brow. He spins back towards me after that. The summer holidays are a bit of a pain considering the timing. I'll check with your doctor to try and get a better handle on the situation and see how he wants to proceed. But I think you should just take things slowly and carefully for now. Yeah, so don't have sex, you fuck. What you're describing doesn't immediately sound like a recurring event, but it won't hurt to slow down a bit for a while, just to make sure. What should I do for today? He looks over my shoulder at a clock hanging over the door. I never have noticed it if I hadn't followed his gaze. It's nearly time for school to be over, so you may as well just leave early. He gives me a side wink, making sure that I understand he's doing me a favor. Well, nurse's orders, thanks. That's what I'm here for, after all. I know you might not want to hear this, but you can't ignore your condition. Don't hesitate to see me if you have any further problems, or if you just have anything you want to ask. Bye. He spins around and gets back to typing on the computer in front of him. I suppose I'll just read before waiting for Lilly by the gate, considering I don't have much else to do. Even as I leave, his words echo in my mind. My condition isn't something as limiting as many of the others here in Yamaku, and I don't want to burden Lilly with thinking about it. If I just live life normally and avoid any short, sharp shocks, I should be okay. I won't let my condition rule me. Yeah, don't let it rule you. Oh, hello. Oh, freak, not this stupid gate again. Yeah, dang it. This stupid lion police badge. What's the point of, I get the lion? I don't know, it's like a lion, you know, hey. Rawr, I'm a lion, fearless. And then the police badge, what's that supposed to be? Is that supposed to, like, represent laws and order and everything, or what? I don't get it. Lilly comes into view soon after the bells heralding the end of the school day ring out. She says farewell to a number of her classmates headed in the other direction, before beginning her weekly trip to the convenience store. Afternoon, Lilly. The immediate warm smile and relaxed demeanor she assumes upon noticing my presence are unexpectedly welcome. Well, hello, Hisao. Good afternoon to you too. She hesitates for a second, but eventually deigns to tilt her head forward and close her eyes, while lips meet hers with a measure of slight trepidation before we move off in hand. The fact that we're so close in height is somewhat useful at times. There being no need for either of us to turn our head upwards nor downwards to meet it, downwards in order to meet the others. God, this is killing me right now. It doesn't take much time to leave the noise of the other students far behind us. The tapping of Lily's cane in her free hand, the only sound to be heard. Silence, blissful silence, is all that greets us while we slowly walk into the setting sun's light. Oh man, the setting sun, look at the beautiful mountains. Oh god, what's with me burping all of a sudden? Oh god, I gotta burp again. Oh god, okay, I told you if I can't finish the sentence and then I need to, oh god. I think this is why I keep like having tongue twisters. I think I'm coming to really like this town. Wait, what? No, okay, again, this sentence is not really making sense to me. The huge green hilly expanse, the trees everywhere, the somewhat rustic little buildings. So you've come to appreciate the tranquility of it as well? I think so. I came from a metropolitan city near Tokyo, so the quiet of this town really alienated me when I first arrived. After a while, it became really nice though. I think I prefer it to the hustle and bustle of my home city now. While I prefer the quiet of such a rural town even when I first arrived, I suppose I had the advantage of growing up in a quiet area before I came. Hanako said the surroundings are very pretty too. Lilly may say such a thing quite easily, but each time she mentions how others describe sights around her so beautiful or pretty, I feel a little put off. Yeah, this is not pretty, this is just disgusting, I hate nature. No, I was just kidding. I noticed her expression becoming one of anticipation for some question or another. She always had a good sense of when somebody's not saying something that's on their mind, so I may as well speak up. I was kind of wondering, how to put this. Do you ever regret that you can't see what things look like for yourself? It's just something I've been thinking about. She thinks carefully for a time. Do you ever regret that you can't hear people whispering on the other side of a room? Oh crap! She has supersonic hearing! Shit! I can only speak for myself, but the fact that I can't see is the only way I've experienced life. Just as I cannot do something you can. You can't do something that I am capable of. Oh, so she's saying like each way there is always a bad thing to it. Like you may have all your senses, but there's always you can't enhance your senses because if you lose one sense, like another sense you like, for instance, if you're blind, for instance Lilly, like her hearing is like much more better than anybody else's, so most likely she doesn't need like any special treatment to her ears. It's just that her hearing is enhanced, and if you have all your senses, each of them are equally the same since they're like balanced. But the only problem is that you can't enhance like your sight, or like you can't enhance your hearing or your touch. I don't think you can enhance touch, that's kind of weird, or taste or something like that, you know, like that's the thing. But the only problem with having everything balanced is that you could actually damage it. For instance, if you like, I used to have perfect eyes until like I started playing video games when I was younger, and I was really up close to the TV, and that's when my eyesight went kind of bad. So it kind of decreased my line of sights. You know, like you can't improve if you can't decrease one, I'm guessing, or if you lose one sense, you enhance the others. You know, something like that. I don't know. I think that's how like I think. It's kind of dumb, but you know, I guess that's how I kind of think. The fact that the world is made of those who are sighted can be a pain sometimes. But there are many people who suffer much more than I because of the way the world is. That does make sense, but still, it just feels kind of bad to describe something that you can't experience to you. She tilts her head quizzically, as if I just said something that makes a very little sense at all. But I can't experience it. You just said yourself that you like this area because of the way the surroundings are. I like this area for the same reason. Thanks to the fact that this is a small rustic town, surrounded by trees, it gives some peace and quiet away from the din at school and the bustle, not to mention the smells of the city. I suppose it would also be much like the home she shared with Akira as well. Her outlook on it seems pretty sensible. And I'm not surprised that she's got a much better handle on her particular condition than I do on mine. Just like how her coming from a location somewhat similar to Yamaku's surroundings let her become more acclimatized in a shorter time. Being born blind affected her stance by her own admission. I should stop being so annoyed with myself over it, but I can't shake the feeling that I've depended on Lilly far too much given the circumstances most have had to deal with in Yamaku. That makes a lot of sense. You're pretty good at explaining, as always. Come to think of it, where's Hanako anyway? She was with us for lunch. It seems she's busy studying. The exams are far from over, and she said she wanted to do better this year than the last. While I admire her work ethic, she's really been trying to give us a lot of room alone recently. She's that type of person, I think. The kind that puts others' needs above her own. At every chance, she's a sweet girl, even though so much has hurt her in the past. Of course, friggin' God, her main song is just depressing. And the worst thing is, it's called Painful History. It's like, fuck, what are you trying to do here? I don't know. I feel like it's only now, when she's less close to me than ever, that she's truly finding herself. It was thanks to you that she began to become more confident after all, not me. I take my hand from hers and gently place it on her head. The important thing is that you were there for her. I can't even imagine what she'd be like without having found someone like you. That much became obvious while you were in Scotland. We're all still friends, so we've just got to have faith in her. I think she'll become a good person, and that much is thanks to you being there for her when she most needed it. Just as you were there for me. It makes me feel a bit childish when you sound so wise. Well, I try. Are you doing anything on the weekend by any chance? Nothing that comes to mind. Why? Then how about a date on Sunday? God damn it! Sundays are not good. It needs something to do besides exam preparation. Okay, I'm gonna end it off here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as always, and I hope you guys have a great day. According to the fact that you got the height genes at least. Oh yeah, that is kind of true. And the bus genes. And the bus genes. Oh my god, that's not really the right kind of thing to say around others. Though Lilly pretends to scold. Oh my god, that's the best way to continue it. To scold Akira, she does so with an unmistakable, slightly cheeky